Hi, Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dawg. A lot of people are aware I'm battling a very aggressive cancer right now. I have esophageal cancer, and I've just completed 29 radiation treatments, 6 chemo treatments, and I'm in that 6 weeks period between the radiation and the chemo, and a very intensive surgery that I'll be undergoing on the 27th of February. So I'm in that period in between right now. Truthfully, right now, I feel pretty good. The chemo and radiation knocked the cancer down, but it's still there, and it's intensifying again. And the surgery on the 27th will remove 2/3 of my esophagus. They will move my stomach up behind my right lung and reattach it. They'll be rerouting some arteries. It's going to be 2 surgeons, 8 hours on the operating table. They'll be moving some organs, rerouting some arteries. I'll be in intensive care for 2 days and in the hospital for 8 to 10 additional days after that. Now, right now, I look and feel pretty good. Matter of fact, people say, Ziegler, you don't look sick. I've actually been accused of not being sick. Well, excuse me. Take a look. In July, I weighed 275 pounds, and right now I weigh 223 pounds. You probably thought I was anorexic. No. But anyway, whatever happens, a lot of people don't make it to the other side of the surgery. A lot of people do. I intend to battle and fight, and I've been in the car business 43 years, and I intend to do some more car business after all this is over with. So I'm in your prayers. I'm in your best wishes, and I'm in that reflective time. I've got a great attitude. Whatever is. But I got to tell you right now, I was driving down the street today. That's right, I'm driving again. That's temporary, rest assured, because once after the surgery, the recuperation period is probably 3, 4, 5 months. But I'll be back. And you'll be seeing me here on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the social media. But the truth of the matter is, I've had a lot of time to reflect. Driving down the street today in Atlanta, it's rainy, stormy, tornadoes are touching down within 10 miles of where I'm at right now. It's a pretty dire, bleak, gray, ugly, dark day in Atlanta. A lot of rain. And lo and behold, Sirius XM on the radio, here comes Elvis Presley singing The Cold Kentucky Rain. One of my favorite songs of all time by Elvis the King. I'm a huge Elvis fan. I knew Elvis. I spoke to Elvis on 3 different occasions. One time for over an hour, one-on-one, just him and I sitting on a fireplace. That's back when I went to Memphis State University for a very short time before I became a disc jockey. This is before I even got in the industry, before I got in the radio business. I met and spoke to Elvis and knew him fairly well. And really misunderstood. One of the greatest showmen of all time. If you ever saw an Elvis show, if you were that fortunate, with 20 performers on stage, all this unbelievable. What a great performer. What a great showman. What a great voice. And I really hate to see people making fun of him and ridiculing him that don't know him or don't know about him or don't get it. I'm a huge Elvis fan. I'm a huge Beatles fan. And in the 60s and 70s, I got to meet a lot of the super groups of the era. I was a disc jockey at a rock and roll station, one of the biggest rock and roll stations in history. I did not get to meet the Beatles. But Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits, friend of mine. I met all kinds of celebrities and performers. I met Colonel Sanders on a number of occasions, the real Kentucky Fried Chicken Colonel Sanders. And believe me, he and I did some remote broadcasts opening up some of his stores, and he's no like the buffoon cartoon character they're portraying him to be today. Colonel Sanders was a very serious, sort of a dark guy, dark character, He could curse like a sailor. I mean, he could probably more apropos with a rap group. I mean, he could use some language, but he's not the gentlemanly old nice guy you see on these commercials. He was pretty serious. I got to meet a lot of different people, do a lot of different things. I've lived the bucket list before I even got in the car business. And today I'm listening to Elvis, the Cold Kentucky Rain. And love that song. That and Suspicious Minds are my two greatest Elvis songs because of all the instrumentation happening in the background, all the vocal, everything going on. And anyway, a lot of time to reflect. And that is a very reflective song, something that makes you look back. And I've done a lot of reflection recently. What I've done, people I know, people that have crossed in and out of my life. I've actually made amends with a lot of people that I had crosswords with in the past. I mean, I've actually reached out and grabbed some of the people that I went sideways with in past years. Whether my fault, their fault, doesn't matter. In the scheme of things, none of that matters. But anyway, I just want to tell everybody I'm in the middle of this battle. I'm not going anywhere. And, my wife, Debbie, 35 years I've been married to that woman. 37 years since I met her. She bought a car from me. Oh, golly. She walked in the dealership and I got to get with her. It was love at first sight. There is such a thing. A couple weeks, I got a couple of my friends coming to stay with us for the weekend. Bobby Heron, Jennifer's going to be with her. That's right, Jennifer Briggs. Two of my friends are going to come down and stay with Debbie and I for a weekend. And a lot of things happening. So I just wanted to check in, tell everybody everything's good. I'm medicated, so I hope I'm making a lot of sense. The street value of my medicine cabinet is probably $50,000 with the drugs and medications I've been prescribed. I got prescriptions for all of them, trust me. It's absolutely amazing. I look back at the things I've done, the places I've been, the speeches I've done, the conventions I've keynoted, the magazines I've written for. Everything in my life has been absolutely spectacular. And you know what's the best part of all? You. I have got so many friends. And I mean real friends. One thing about social media is those are not just pictures. Those are not icons. Those are real people. And I have treated my friends on the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, wherever I am on social media. I care about you. I look at your people say, you trolled my Facebook page. Yes, I did. I looked at every single photograph. I looked at your family. I looked at, what you are deemed to be important, what your hobbies are. I care about people enough to just be more than superficial. And so many people today don't get that. When you have friends on Facebook, friends on LinkedIn, friends on Snapchat, I don't care. Those are real, living, breathing human beings with hopes, desires. They've got dreams, they've got schemes. It's so important that you get into the people that you have relationships with, real relationships. And I don't care if it's on the telephone, on the keyboard, whatever. Those are real relationships. So I listened to the song Kentucky Rain, one of my favorite songs of all time. And you can feel the desolation, you can feel the hope, you can feel all the emotions that they put into that song. That song was written by Eddie Rabbitt, who was a country singer back in the 70s. And he gave it to Elvis, and Elvis did an incredibly good job with it. So anyway, pray for me. If you're not religious, send me your best wishes. And pray for Debbie. Debbie's got it really rough the next couple weeks going through this surgery with me. I mean, it hasn't been a picnic. She's waited on me hand and foot. You know, a couple of weeks ago I passed out and had an ambulance ride and spent a day in the hospital emergency room. I mean, it's been a constant parade of doctors. I have seen 2 and 3 and 4 doctors in one day. I mean, it's been like day after day, doctor after doctor, just specialist after specialist. Kind of interesting. I had a stress test with a heart doctor here 2 days ago. And guess what? My heart is in excellent condition. My arteries are clear. I mean, they're clearing me for the surgery. And I got to tell you, the heart surgeon, you know, the cardiovascular surgeon, the cardiologist, you know, he said you're really strong with your heart. You know, you got good flow in your arteries. Everything's no problems. Now tomorrow I got to meet with the urologist. They're gonna see how my renal system's working. I mean, there's a whole lot of things going on before this surgery. So pray for me and pray for Debbie. And think well of me, speak well of me. Listen to the song Elvis, Kentucky Rain, and try to feel what I was feeling. Because I got to tell you, Elvis was so misunderstood. You know, when I spoke to him, 1965, 1966, it was December, January, February, right in that end of the year, beginning of the year, 65, 66, when Elvis and I had 3 different occasions where he came by the dormitory where I was staying at Memphis State. I mean, he would walk the streets. I mean, he had not made his comeback tour at that time, and he had gotten out of the Army, made a couple movies, and I got to talk to him. Like I say, I met a lot of the celebrity groups of the 60s and 70s. I saw all of them. I wish I would have seen and met the Beatles. I've seen McCartney and Ringo since, but it wasn't the same as seeing the whole group. Anyway, keep me in your thoughts. Keep me in your prayers. Speak well of me. Take care.